Market surging on Reka Optimism. We have a blow-off rally in play. Let's get into it here. It is Thursday, September 11, 2025. If you guys like the video, maybe give it a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel. Maybe come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. We'll have a sale on Monday. I'll have some details about that tomorrow. It's pretty much going to be the same, but we'll do a fall sale for both services, everything involved with the website. Anyways, let's get into it here today. So we had a trend today. We talked about this 2 days ago. I'll admit I was surprised. I didn't expect us to just trend like this today, even though I said 2 days ago that trend is coming. But yeah, you can see here, I mean, we talked about this earlier in the week, but yeah, tightest bands since late Feb. So that is starting to open up. The deviation, moving away from that one standard deviation. So the Bollinger Bands are expanding here and getting into tomorrow. Right now, we got to give the upside bias here to 6,600 on SPX here. So that is now your LG1 for tomorrow. Nothing really to move the market, just Michigan in the morning. So we'll see if that does anything. It's about 3 o'clock here in the afternoon. And, barring some sort of a unforeseen reversal here, I don't think it's of much consequence what we do between now and to the close. I think they might try to pump it, but they might do a little fake pump and then try to get there tomorrow. Again, it's not of much consequence either way, or here nor there. So the $1 million question everybody wants to know is, has hedging started to move towards 6,600? Well, the answer is yes for tomorrow, but for next Friday, no. And for end of quarter, no. So we're still not seeing that movement here, despite breakout. So you still have to respect price. I do think it's a little interesting though. Kind of a weak looking, I was even talking about possibility of a failed breakout yesterday. And I did think that we would fade after the PPI yesterday. And even though we bounced into the close, I mean, the NASDAQ was still just barely, it was up like 3 cents on the Qs. IWM was red, Dow was red. Dow having a nice day today, by the way, too. But yeah, it's a little interesting to see it break out from that position. I know we had CPI this morning, so there's your catalyst. Obviously, hedges rolling off there. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get more of a dip on this to at least pick up. I mean, I would have loved to just at least spike yesterday's low, but we're not even, we barely spiked the overnight low there. So it wasn't really much for me to do from a day trading standpoint today. Although I did catch the low of the day in Netflix. That was a nice one here. 1200 Pierce. Look at the volume here at the lows. It had 12 15-minute red candles in a row before the low. Big volume spike, and there's a whole round number at 1200, which I think will get pinned to that area tomorrow. So you got a quick little scalp in, but when we gap up like this without volatility, I love playing CPI days, but I like to see some sort of a trap first. And I mean, this was in seconds. If you go to the 1 minute chart, it's literally one candle and then it goes right back up. So not really much to do there. Overall though, what are we looking at here for the big picture right now? So we're overthrowing the wedge pattern right now. It's typical. I just want to say a few things here about this. So we've been talking about 6,500 being a level it's just going to be stiff. I've been talking about that since the end of July, and it has been. Today, you're starting to kind of pull away from that. Just want to throw a few things out there, though. I'm not going to just go out here and chase the market higher, and I still remain in a position here where I still think there's a very good chance of mean reversion by the end of the quarter. That does not mean I think you should necessarily continue I don't think you should go all in to fight this. That does not mean I don't have longs out there, but I still remain, and I think the biggest point I can make here is the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ still has not made a new high. Now it can make it tomorrow, but every single market high that's ever been made has been made with the NASDAQ topping out a few weeks to a month beforehand. Well, we're coming up on a month tomorrow. Again, you see the lower highs there with the Qs earlier this year. It made a slight new high, whereas S&P made 3. Again, I can go back and point out 1,000 of these here, right? Last July, slight higher high. The NASDAQ didn't make a new high. The July before, that was last July. same thing though. NASDAQ not making new high. July 23, it was the same setup. 2021, right? S&P made, I mean, this looks like a great breakout, doesn't it? And it rolled right over. Q's topped on the 22nd of November, lower high there. So again, like I really hate being this bearish, but yeah, I still can't get on board here unless the NASDAQ really like proves itself. A lot of people are starting to talk about blow off move now. Again, like I'm not going to say it can't happen. Like I'm not like dogmatic or anything, but just be aware that a true blow off top, like what you're talking, like what you guys are probably thinking of, is like Jan 2018. The NASDAQ led this too, right? It's not, you can see it right there. The NASDAQ was a leader here too. And now everyone's talking about the breadth and all this stuff. And, remember somebody maybe was on this channel, maybe not, was talking about there would be a big breadth thrust towards the end a month or two ago. And everybody thought the Russell was worthless. And now everybody loves the Russell. And it got to our 240 target here. The Dow's leading. I don't like the Dow leading. So there's just still a lot of things I don't love. We can, easily, overthrow this and roll over after the Fed, into the Fed. We're kind of like pricing this all in. Gold kind of gives me that same vibe here too. Same thing with TLT to an extent. I'm not saying that you should go all in short here, but I certainly can't be a buyer here. That's for sure. So like the chances of a move up to I don't know, wherever you pick your David Hunter number, right? The chances of that happening ever are much lower than a panic sell. I mean, we got to figure at least once or twice a year we get some sort of a panic sell. A true blow off move is very rare. So, it could happen. When we talk about the wedge here too, from a technical standpoint, if you use market hour or, the after hours, you can see a move up, there if it becomes like a channel. If you use the cash S&P, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like it's almost there already. And, there's another number that was thrown out a lot too around, the quadruple six, right? So, it's not like that's that far away. It could easily happen by the Fed. That was also the 2009 low for what that's worth. But, very strong move here. At least price action wise. I still don't love the idea that we're trying to break out from this type of technical position with the NQ. I don't like how it's lagging, but that's just me calling balls and strikes. So no changes in the quarterly or monthly OPEX hedging, but in the near term you can see those, that sort of gamma movement. Gamma is more powerful the closer you are. So, but anyway, yeah, market's up here. I would give it the upside to 66. There's the Qs just coming into double top. The cash Qs technically made a new high. So they're doing that. They're doing the thing. IWM obviously 245. Big level up there. And then, there's definitely interest at 250. There was last time too. We just never got there. And then the diamond here, again, take a look at this trend line. What's another $8 at this point, right? With the diamond. So we'll see. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we reverse tomorrow in Michigan. I don't know. Probably not going to reverse on a Friday, but in fact, it's very rare. But right now, market in that euphoria mode. Except Oracle, this is getting out of hand. Oracle down 5%. That's pure short seller greed. And doesn't people know that they're going to 70 extra sales? How can it be down? How can Broadcom be down? That's just unbelievable. They need to get the PPT out here for this. But anyway, SMH here up 1%. It did come off the highs though, so a little bit of a tail candle through the double top. SOX, very much the same. That's at the lows of the day right now. IGV is kind of flat here. And then the transports had a nice rebound. We talked about the failure there, but we did mention the trend line too, and it's bouncing through that. I do think UPS, actually, full disclosure, I did pick up a small position in UPS today. And somebody asked me in the trading room about this. A lot of people have been trying to buy this thing on the way down. And I said, maybe if it can have a nice flush through 85 down to like 82 or $80, I'd be interested. And that's exactly what it did today. So only had to wait one day. By the way, low of the day, $82. Low of the pandemic, March 2020, $82 exactly. So maybe that's the deep value level, I guess. But we'll see if it can follow through tomorrow. But I figured it's worth a small position here. I mean, this thing has just absolutely been destroyed here. So that is buried. So, but anyway, rates today, again, down a little bit. Let's take a look over here at the 2-year. It's daily, put our moving averages back. Yeah, just kind of inside here. Possible little bear flag at the lows. 10s and 30s are interesting, though. I don't think they have much lower to go. In fact, if rates are down into the Fed, $4 or 4% here on the 10-year might be a psych level that gets defended. There's also a trend line, obviously, down here on the 10-year that coincides with this low. So again, if we're really like, trying to see if this goes back. I mean, yeah, it kind of goes back. I don't really care though. We'll just put it here. But yeah, if this goes like continues down into the FOMC, I mean, like you got to think about a bounce play at least. So that'll be something I'm watching. I do think TLT though does have some legs though, like at least in the near to medium term. But XHB had a nice day today. Nice move there. IYR might be next. So I'm talking about that firming up. By the way, Tesla was next too. Speaking of what was next, nice little base there, and that's what's pulling the market up today. For the most part, look at that trend there. Yeah, Google up nicely too. XLF had a nice rebound today, so it was down this week. Very good recovery, up 1.5. KRE flat on the day, but that still has a decent base here. That can go higher. Broker dealers here just off of all-time highs too. Oil sold off again off of, CPI was pretty much in line. Jobless claims did uptick to 260 though. I don't think the market's going to care about that until probably next Wednesday at least. But yeah, oil down here 2.2%, trying to confirm a lower high. I think a lot of shorts are starting to give up though. And we see that in the breadth, we see that in the Russell, and we see that in XLE, right? XLE, I mean, it's flat. It's not up today, but this is starting to put in a higher low here, right? And the reason I say shorts capitulating, this is like the short sellers' like favorite sector, right? They love shorting energy. And OYH again making a new high today. If this can close the week above 260, that's a big psychological move for that. So energy is interesting to me here. It should be, it should be down more, right? And it's not. It's flat. Speaking of should be down more, the dollar still is not even taking out the low of the week. And again, similar to TLT, similar to the market, similar to gold, if this is continuing down into the Fed, I'm going to be looking for mean reversion. I'm not going to play it unless we like maybe sweep the low, but I would be favoring that because I don't see anything good from a technical standpoint. I need a technical setup to trigger as well. But yeah, gold here, flat for 3 days. Just be careful with it. This is pumping into a volatility event, basically. Silver still holding up, SIL still holding up. There's a massive chase on these right now. Platinum here, nothing terrible there. Inside day, and then palladium following through nicely. So again, we talked about 1200 being a level, and it was up nicely today. Copper trying to break out of this range, so higher lows, and now looks like it'll make a higher high. Rebound there may take you to the 200, maybe higher. We'll see. We had crypto catching a little bit today too. Bitcoin up 30 basis points. Still stuck at the 50 MA there, but I mean, it probably goes and retests this area. I will say on the weekly, there's really no damage here at all. I know I haven't talked about the weekly much lately, but there's no damage here. So this is still an uptrend. No, it's not. ETH trying to curl up here, but man, this is taking a long time. So anyway, markets here, it's a little after like about 320. So, I mean, if they want to try and make a run, they can. It's not really like, the trend is up. So, I don't see them like really. I mean, maybe they just pump it up here and do one of those 3 p.m. fake outs where they just save it for tomorrow. But yeah, market's holding up here. There's a lot of things I don't like here. I definitely will respect the trend and the upside follow through, but these things, I mean, a lot of this stuff is playing out exactly the way it has in the past before sizable corrections. I'll say though, it does need to happen like in the next couple of weeks if it's going to. But that said, market's holding up right now. We're at 67, just under 67.90, so about 13 points away. And we'll see if they try to make a run at that today or tomorrow. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. You guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.